the Fred beer. I forget his name. Fred something Buyer or Briar, Greenbrier, something like that. I always forget. It was a brother, older brother, younger brother. The younger brother started his business later after the older brother, and the older brother ended up going out of business like in the 20s, and the younger brother prevailed and lasted another like 20 or 30 years. But that was around the time where the Crown Top was invented. 1909, the Crown Top was invented and patented it. And for some reason, I think the Dutch or English, they took over the claim rights of being the inventors of the Crown Top. So guess what the Americans did real quick? This is my theory. We created years later a twist off top. So you can make out whatever you want out of that, but we created the twist off instead of the pop top. Now some of the imported beers are still pop tops, but American made beers are twist offs. So you know what was going on. But right after, I can't remember his name. I wanted to do a little thing on it. Right after he patented it at the Crown Factory on Eastern Avenue. I think it's like 1441 Eastern Avenue. If you look that address up in Baltimore, Maryland, the Crown Top was invented. But they have no records of anything of a beer being bottled there, anything. But if you look up, because I worked there, I did a job, there. Uh, you look up, you see the Natty Bow symbol. So who knows? That might have been the spot where Baltimore beers were made, the Baltimore Brewing Company or the factory or whatever. But that's where the Crown Top was invented. And I can't remember the guy's name. I'm sorry, guys. I'll put it up and flash it for you. But I found one bottle today and one flask with a broken top on it. All right. I'll see y'all. Maybe I'll clean it up and show it to you after it's cleaned up. All right. Bye now. Baltimore Bottle Diggers out. All right. Baltimore Bottle Diggers checking in with my grandson, who is 6, and he's ready to leave. We hit a little hot spot, I think. But the deal was whoever found the first bottle, which he did, he found the little whiskey red top bottle. I found what was it? A Crown. A Crown bottling. If you guys know where the Natty Bow symbol is, Crown is right there, because I did sprinkler work right there. And they may have made bottles back in the day. Their name was Crown, and the Natty Bow symbol is right like within 50 feet of their complex, which they rent out as rental properties. And the name of their company and their property is Crown Associates. So they kept the same name. And I believe the man that was the owner, his name was, I think, what was his name? Property of, I think his last name was Edward Mann or something like that. C. Edward Mann, I think it was. But yeah, we ended up getting out of here. We're leaving. My grandson, we didn't find much. We found, a bunch of scraps, top milk. I want to find a whole Fred Bauer. This one's another Crown and Associates. But yeah, these bottles are some beautiful beer bottles with the Crown Top. I wonder if that's where the name came from, the Crown Top. Because Crown might have invented the top. Maybe that's why my father-in-law, that we had their business was always like, yeah, that's Crown, so I never knew how important Crown was. I wish I'd have known history a little bit better, but now I do. If I'm putting the pieces of the puzzle together, but our hot spot, look what it ended up being: window pane. The grandson and me found nothing but window pane. He doesn't want his face on video, so I'm not going to put his face on video, but he is the man. He has my hat on, my O's hat. Yeah, he's a good kid. We found a plate I'm not going to take back with us. The plate probably could be put together. I wouldn't have all the pieces, but I love how they did their pottery back then. There's little lines inside of it. I think somebody found some pottery, and they said how they would rub like lead or something in between the cracks of the pottery to get the lines to show up. I think it was not Bill Ladd, but it was Howard Hewitt may have said that, or a friend of Bill Ladd said how they made the lines. I knew it was on one of those bottle adventures. But yeah, my grandson's calling. We're taking home a memento, which is going to be not any of these shards, but I might take these home. I'm probably going to make this a video in itself, but he's ready to go. These shards here, I'm not doing anything with, but I will fill in my holes before I leave. And there is a piece of bottle that was stuck forever that I would walk by every day that was on a route, and that's what got us started here, and we stayed here. So I put it up, and when I put it up, see, I think this is a dairy. It says Maryland on it. I'm going to take that home with me. And the creek is getting so low, and it's so much window pane in it. And it's right by where I said I think there was a bridge at one time. But I will take some of this home, put it in the scrap area where, if I do learn how to get bottles and put them together, I'm going to learn how to, cut bottles, cut them down to where I can make a ashtray or even a holder, pencil holder, or a toothbrush holder, something in that, that sense. But we stopped down here, so we have to fill our holes in. That's why I'm walking this way. He's ready to go, and he's probably thirsty or hungry, but there's tons of shards of glass. So I'm making sure I'm backtracking so none of these shards of glass are just sticking up. I have steel shank boots on. See, a kid like him comes running through. He doesn't have steel shank boots on, and he might get caught up like I did years ago. See, here it is. This is our memento. We kept on looking at it, and this will be something that me and my grandson will remember until the day I die. So I'm going to cut it closer and closer to where all the things are off, and we'll remember this is the first day we went bottle hunting together. So, here's some more pieces of the Fred. I think it's Bauer Schmidt or something. Does